business to Cam Capone. So his name is Domination, and during his Cam Capone interview, he revealed when Tony Yayo got smacked, how 50 Cent got shot and why he got shot. He tells it all.
Now, at some point, you meet Tony Yayo? You know Tony Yayo since you were a kid?
I know Tony Yayo since I was a kid, yeah. He was signed to not signed, because they wasn't signed, but they was in an underground group called Rags to Riches. It was him, Fat Shy, a.k.a. DJ Rough Hands, God bless the dead, and my man Katif, God bless the dead. They call him Huey P.
Do you remember how you guys met? Did you guys go to school together?
No, we didn't go to school together. Yayo like 10 years older than me.
Yo, so Yayo's 10 years older than this dude? I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Yayo might have aged out, my nigga, because y'all look about the same age to me. No cap. Y'all let me know if I'm capping. He look about Yayo age. He said 10 years.
We didn't go to school together. We met on the block. 134 God Brewer.
Okay, so these were like your big homies that you looked up to.
He was never my big homies. I never looked up to him, ever, in my life.
The level of disgust that he has at the thought that Tony Yayo will be his big homie. Now, I don't understand it because I always thought Tony Yayo was a pretty respectable dude in the hood. I thought Tony Yayo, for the most part, is somebody with really no real smut on his name. Like, Tony Yayo never really got knocked out in public, never really did something grimy. We never really heard nothing bad about Tony Yayo over these years. But for some reason, he don't want for Tony Yayo to be his big homie, which...
I feel him, though. You know what I'm saying? I really do. If it's not your big homie, if you never looked at somebody as your big homie and they just happen to be older than you, yeah, I really wouldn't feel disrespected. I just would tell somebody, yeah, that's not my big homie. And that's cool. That's where it ends at. You know what I'm saying? Because I know mad people that's older than me who I would never look at and be like, yo, that's my big homie. You know what I'm saying? That's just not my big homie. It wasn't that. They might be somebody that's older than me. That doesn't mean I look up to them. It's actually people that's older than me, some people that's older than me that looked up to me. And that's just how it be sometimes, depending on who you are, what type of things you do with your life. So, you know, that ain't crazy. That's not crazy to me.
Okay, I guess. Now, if you guys are not aware of like the long-standing beef between this guy and 50 Cent, do your research. It gets really, really, really violent. Now, before they got off Tony Yayo completely, he told a story about how Tony Yayo got slapped during a dice game.
What would you think? What would you say your like wildest situation growing up there?
The wildest situation? Man, I don't think that's for the camera. Come on. So there was a time that we was on the block and a dude walked through with his girl, and he walked through a whole bunch of dudes because our block is any given day is flooded. It's not like that now, but it was 20, 30 guys on the block. And when the guy walked by, dudes threw a duck sauce at his head. And it was, in retrospect, it was corny, but everybody was laughing about it. I really wasn't jacking it, but that's one of the scenarios, but.
That's the wildest shit you ever seen? No way, bro. The wildest shit you ever seen was a duck sauce being thrown at somebody's head when he's with his girl and there's a bunch of dudes out. Come on, man. That don't even sound wild. That don't even sound crazy. What are we talking about? And then what duck sauce are you talking about? Are you talking about a packet of duck sauce? Or are you talking about the duck sauce that's literally like sealed up? Or are we talking about the duck sauce that was like in a container and then the container opened and it spilled all over him? Still, I think it would be worse to hit somebody with a snowball in their head, with an ice ball, you know what I mean? Like, that's more dangerous than duck sauce. Did y'all chase him? Did y'all hold him for rent? I don't understand, bro. How's that the wildest shit you ever seen in your life?
Okay, what happened after you guys threw the duck sauce at him?
I mean, what you gonna do? You got 20, 30 people. What is the dude really gonna do? It was really like some bully, so I really didn't respect it, right? But that's one of the wild situations, you know? But
yeah, he definitely did not explain that at all. That don't make no sense. I don't understand. Like, you just threw duck sauce and it's 20, 30 people. That doesn't make any sense. Don't get it.
There's other situations that it been dice games. Like Tony Yayo was at a dice game. He was rolling dice with somebody, left. He got smacked. Guns came out. It was a Wild Wild West situation, you know?
I'm questioning if that Tony Yayo story is true, because if they ask you, what's the craziest thing you've been through? And you bring up how y'all threw, I don't know, like a Laffy Taffy at somebody's head. Like, how, like, bro, kids in the suburbs have done that. Like, that's not
Facts. I ain't even gonna lie to you, Poetic Flacco. You got a point this time.
really no crazy story. But then you follow with the Tony Yayo story, and I'm like, hold on, if the Tony Yayo story was real, wouldn't the Tony Yayo story be the first thing you bring up? Wouldn't that have been the first thing you brought up to say, yo, Tony Yayo got slapped, guns got pulled out? It was like, wouldn't that be the first story you lead to? Like, so I don't know, bro. I'm questioning that.
Yeah, this is kind of confusing. Like, this just sounds like somebody that got on a platform. You happen to know somebody in the past, and you really didn't know what to say before you didn't think it out very good. You didn't think about this situation before you got in front of the camera. You probably don't want to really mention the craziest thing because that might offend certain people, especially if you're still a street guy. You know what I'm saying? So you just make up a story about duck sauce. Duck sauce. And some of y'all don't even know what duck sauce is, by the way, because it's many places. I live in California right now. I live in LA. They ain't got no duck sauce out here. It's the different type of Chinese out here. They don't got the right Chinese food out here. It's different. So a lot of places, they got plum sauce. They be having plum sauce. It's similar, but it's not duck sauce. Shout out to the people on the East Coast that know what duck sauce is.
Now, him and 50 Cent, like, and Yayo, they were all really, 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 really cool. I think him and 50 ultimately fell out when 50 Cent refused to pay his bond, and then he got out, and then him and 50 got this like memorable moment where they're arguing over the radio phone. I think it was High 97. But yeah, so he was really close with 50 Cent at the time, so he's really tapped into all the lore and all the stories that we kind of heard but don't know the full details of. One of those stories being 50 Cent's beef with Supreme and what led to 50 Cent being shot.
As far as being in the studio with 50, Rough Hands used to have a studio in his basement. It was like a makeshift studio. It didn't really produce the best quality, but we was there. Like 50 would record his thing, right? Nothing to do with us. He's just from our block. And we used to go record our parts. We was 134 Allstars, right?
I actually remember that shit though. I remember that. Actually, I remember Lloyd Banks saying that he was shot in the same team out. I don't know if y'all remember that back in the mixtape days. I remember the 134 All-Stars. I remember Lloyd Banks had a freestyle where he shot that out. And I remember Domination, Bang Em Smurf. I do remember Domination was actually aight. I ain't even gonna lie to you. He was actually a smooth rapper. Wasn't bad. He wasn't no Lloyd Banks, but he was aight. He had some punchlines and shit like that. But I don't think he was good enough to make it to that next level. That's probably why he got left where he got left at. And it is what it is right now. But let's get back to it.
There was a particular moment that I recall that there was a artist named Storm P, right? And this was after 50 got stabbed. There was an artist named Storm P. I was in the studio. My man Dre Product was in the studio. Doc Intelligence was in the studio. A dude named Gangsta Lou from Linden was in the studio. We was all there chilling, right? We was doing the mastermind.
Smurf was there?
Smurf was there. Yeah, Yayo was there and Banks was there, as a matter of fact. Also, yeah, they was on that, but Banks wasn't Banks at the time. He was Lazy Lloyd. He wasn't dealing with 50 at that time, right? So we go to the studio and whatnot. We waiting to record. There's a dude named Storm P. He's from Baisley Projects. He actually ended up being managed by Superstar J. I don't know if that's still true to this day, but he was nice. He was doing this beat. I don't recall the beat, but his bars was hard. I recall the bars. He said, I dodge potholes, man, so I don't f my rims. You dodge puddles, so you don't f your Timbs. And I was like, whew. He was young at the time. Like I aged 18, 17, around.
Hold on. What year was this, man? What year was this? Because there's no way that you thought that was crazy, bro. If we talking about 2001, if we talking like early 2000s, like that's not the hardest shit I've ever heard in New York. punchline. That's around punchline time. Like everybody got the punchlines right now. There's no way that was cool. I understand it's like you got the car or whatever and other people are walking. I understand it. But that was a woo? Nah, nigga. There's no way. There's no way. You got Cassidy, you got Lloyd Banks, you got Jadakiss. I mean, you got Fabulous. There's so many people at the time that's rapping, and that was the bar that made you go, oh, nah.
At the time, like I aged 18, 17, around that time, I'm like, oh, this nigga's nice. He was.
J Hood. Matter of fact, there's so many, you know what I mean? There's so many different people I can name at this time for me to go, oh, nah.
He was spitting that pain. So 50 came in the studio while we was in the studio and he heard that. And he said, yo, who beat is that? Like, yo, I'm jumping on that. He ain't even asked boy that actually did the beat. He just said, yo, I'm jumping on that. So the engineers let him jump on the track. He said, rumor last year, 50 got bagged. Rumor this year, 50 got stabbed. What's the rumor next year, huh? 50 got mad and tore Jai head off with the 4-4 mag. He said something about black, my baby mom's a wild out and stabbed me worse than that, you know? So that was the issue, of course.
That moment is why 50 Cent got shot. So 50 Cent is in the studio. Now, he's in a mindset right now where he's just dissing any and everybody he's trying to get on. He just dropped How to Rob. He's doing his thing. But you come in and you're not really aware of who's in the room with you. You just a rapper. You see a hot song. He's around people you know and people you like and people you got a relationship with. So you just assume he straight, he good. He wasn't good. So the dude whose song he hopped on, well, he's from the same neighborhood as Ja Rule or people who was affiliated with Ja Rule. So when 50 Cent did that, that got back to Ja Rule, that got back to Supreme, and apparently that right there was the icing on the cake, and that was what broke the straw back, and that really made him wanted to go after 50 Cent. So what took place was, I'm assuming 50 Cent did that. Dude went back and told Ja Rule or Supreme or people associated with Ja Rule, hey, bro, I was in the studio, 50 just hopped on this track. He said this, I ain't know nothing, bro, don't blame me, right? Because if he didn't tell them, all right, then imagine that song dropping and they find out, bro, this is Lil Homie who be around here and he let 50 Cent diss Ja. Nah. So he told. Now, after he told, he didn't go too deep into details in regards to what the conversation was, but that was apparently the straw that broke the camel back, and they was determined to kill 50 Cent the next day.
Like I said, you know, Storm P was from Baisley, so 9 times out of 10, his management team was from Baisley. Supreme is from Baisley.
It's interesting, man. It's interesting. It's interesting how things transpire. We're going to have to do our research. Gonna have to do the research.
I'm not privy to what happened after that, to what happened if Preem called 50 or not, or what was being said. I'm not privy to that. I do know that after that studio session, the next day, I went to the block around 12 o'clock, something like that, and they like, yo, 50 got shot earlier. So we all go to the back blocks. It's taped off. So we actually honestly thought he was dead. We didn't know he made it. We thought he was dead, you know?
Right? When I reverse, I said, I seen the car coming. I'm trying to be considerate. But I thought 50 saw it, so he ain't say nothing. But when I turned around, I'm like, yo, who this? I seen somebody jumping out the car. He seen the car, but he didn't see the person jump out the car. That's what I mean. I asked him, who this? He like, I'm waiting for a response. And the response I get was, oh, so I'm like, oh, when I turned, the nigga started shooting. So I forgot the car was in reverse. I'm thinking the car's in drive. So when I step on the gas, I hit their car, thinking that I was gonna go forward. I went backwards. So when I went backwards, I hit my head. That froze me. But 50 said he didn't get shot to this point here when it froze me. that's when the gunman came around the car and he shot us. But in that process, the girl was screaming. She like, drive, drive. So that's what woke me up. And I drove down the block, drove him to the hospital.
Okay, and so did you reverse the car at all after you kind of started to take off?
I just told you I had the car in reverse. I said that.
Okay, let me explain that. Sorry, bro. Let me explain a little bit better. So, you guys start to take off. At any point, did you guys like?
Oh, yeah. I see what you said. Yeah, I did reverse back when 50 told me he had a gun. I did reverse back. I didn't think you wanted me to say. I see what you did. You went and you seen what I said before. All right, yeah. I had a gun. Yeah, we had guns in the car. I backed up. I said, yo, I was gonna go back to shoot. But he was already hurt, and Shorty was like, yo, take him to the hospital, take him to the hospital. So I took him to the hospital. I couldn't take hearing what she was saying. She was all hysterical. I had to get her out the car. So when I got her out the car, it was just me and 50. I wasn't from Queens, so I told him to stay up. Yo, you gotta direct me to the hospital. So he directed me to the hospital.
Were you shot at this time?
I didn't know I was shot until I got to the hospital.
Where were you shot at?
I got shot in my left hand. It went in and out.
You didn't even know you were shot for all that time driving and everything?
Nah, I didn't know I was shot. The way, like, it went through my flesh. Like, it wasn't really like, it's like through right here.
So he got shot how many days after? Just a day after?
The day after, yes. The day after.
Hip hop got to start doing a better job at feeding our OGs, man. Because our OGs not being fed is why they're on podcasts and telling like a mug. Yo, there's no statute of limitation on attempted murder in New York. They shot 50 Cent 9 times. That's attempted murder. Nobody has been arrested for it yet. All right. So you coming on a podcast and even relaying this information and confirming certain things, isn't that all bad? I know at some point in his interview, he did say, man, certain things I can't speak on. But what made you think you could speak on this situation? I don't know, bro. We got, again, man, we got to do a better job at feeding our OGs, man. Because they out here starving, man. They telling every story they can tell, man, to try to get booked for another interview, bro. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you?
Yeah, that's a fact, man. It's a lot of people out here telling a lot of stories because they not connected no more. They see everybody they was starting with making the bread now. They making a lot of bread. They not making no bread. And they feel crazy. They like, yo, my whole life stopped. That's what really happened is like their life literally stopped while the other person just kept climbing up, kept being successful, still was successful. Everybody around them was successful. I know it probably hurt to see Tony Yayo, Lloyd Banks, all of them still doing very well. You know what I mean? And you, even if you was outside putting in that pain and you was around 50, it must feel bad, man. Like a dude like Bang Em Smurf going to do the pictures with Ja Rule. Some of y'all saying it's cool. I don't know. I got mixed feelings about it, but I wasn't there. So at the end of the day, it's not really my business. I don't really understand what they went through or what they didn't go through. All I'm saying is, man, it's messy these days. It's messy. The hip hop situation is messy. But that's what happens, especially when people get older. People change. You know what I'm saying? And who knows? I don't know what people around me would have felt like if we would have went to certain situations or made it to a certain level and they wasn't able to come along for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know. You don't know what people go through every day. But I wish we could really clean it up. I really do wish we could clean it up. But this probably has always been this way. It's probably always been a lot of trauma. It's probably been a lot of resentment, a lot of hate, a lot of lies. You know what I'm saying? It's always been that going on to the viewers, to the fans. it's cool. It's dope. You know what I mean? But like, listen to some of this music. It's not good. It's very negative. A lot of negative messages. And I mean, even the name, Get Rich or Die Trying. That's a deep situation. Like the man almost lost his life in order to feed the whole world, in order to feed his family. So you know it's gonna be a lot of negativity attached to that. You know it's gonna be a lot of bad stories, a lot of people that was lost from just that. Just hearing that title. Get rich or die trying. It's deep. It's deep. I think 50 gotta do another movie. And I think, man, he should reach out. Maybe he should reach out to some of these dudes, man, because they look like they need the help. Maybe they can squash some of these things. And you know, I don't know. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. I don't know what's been done, what hasn't been done. But anyway, y'all know what to do, man. Hit that like button, hit that hype button, hit that subscribe button, and we're gonna be back with more content per usual. You know what we do. It's Young, the one who do it. Numbers don't lie. That's the movement.